Come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey, you guys. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9, Episode 12. Okay, so we end up opening up. Portia is actually going to the anger management. Whatever. She goes to see this anger management counselor, and he basically tells her, because she was saying that she really didn't think she wanted to go to a camping trip. And because, they just get her started and then she wants to hurt them. She wants to kick their asses. And he said, you know what, you really should go. It's really a good opportunity for you. And take someone with you. Take someone that will help to calm you down, that can be there for you, and you always know somebody got your back. So she says, okay, no problem. And she ended up taking Lauren. In the meantime, in between time, you got Kenya talking to Phaedra. Kenya's trying to basically talk Phaedra into uninviting Portia because she doesn't think that she should go. And I'm looking at it, I said, you know what, Kenya goes from one thing to the next in each episode. Last episode, she's crying, and that's two, crying and whining about Matt. And then as soon as you come out of that, you go right back to being an old nasty bitch and doing all kind of little shady shit. So in this episode, she was right back to the old Kenya. Nasty as hell. Nasty, self-centered, and ridiculous. And I was waiting saying, well, where is Matt? We need somebody to smack the shit out of her. Where's Matt at? Ridiculous. But Phaedra really wanted Portia to go. She wanted Portia to be there. So fuck you, Kenya, bitch. Anyway. Moving on. Cynthia, and I didn't know what this was about. I mean, but the way they do things, I understand it. But Cynthia went to see Matt. And she's taking notes and talking to him. And they really did have a good exchange. It was a good exchange. It was very respectable. And it was just a good conversation. It was just, this is what she does that irritates me. And Cynthia's like, well, you need to not do this and not do that. And he took, he talked to Cynthia the same way he talked to Peter, with total sense. And everything was cool. Cynthia actually did, she talked to Matt and basically let him know. She said, some of the things that you all do, that Kenya, she's my girl, but she can be a bit of a drama queen. So, but what I found in time, you could be a bit of a drama king. So you two have that in common. You two are going to have to find a safe place where you all are comfortable with what you all do, because that's just part of y'all's personalities. So that was that. Now, and Matt didn't even take offense to it or anything, and he's supposed to be the one with the hot head. Whenever Kenya ended up meeting later on with Cynthia, they're talking. Cynthia didn't even really get to tell her what it was that was said. Soon as she started talking, and she said to her, she said, I explained, I said, sometimes Kenya can be a little drama queen, and so you would have to learn to deal with. She cut Cynthia off and got to tell her, don't do me, and this, that, that. I'm talking real shit to Cynthia, and got an attitude, got mad, took her little ugly ass dogs, and left, and Cynthia's walking behind her, and she's like, you don't have to do that. I don't feel like you had my back, and you ain't got to tell him I'm no drunk. Wasn't even listening. Wasn't listening. Was just on that fuck shit. And who the fuck brings their fucking dogs to somebody's brand new house anyway? People kill me with this shit. It's just trifling. It irritated me so bad. Cynthia said something about it in her confessional. She's like, well, I mean, it's my brand new house. Can I get a chance to screw it up first before they come and pee and poop all over the place? Who would take their dogs to a person's house, especially a person that don't have dogs? I bet, what? I've had it happen, though. I've had people come past here with their dog. You're not coming in here with that motherfucking yip-yap, stinking-ass motherfucking sack of bones and fucking hair. I wouldn't even let them in. And no, they can't run around in my yard. Get that motherfucker and I'll see you when I see you. I ain't got no dog. I don't have a dog for a reason. I don't like them all like that. The fuck out of here. Anyway, damn, moving on. But she left and had that attitude, and Cynthia's like, well, whatever. They didn't actually meet up again until the day of the camping trip. And she was started going back in on Cynthia again. I'm like, Cynthia, girl. And she told her, you know, we've had this before where you didn't have my back, and I just want to make sure you got my back. So Cynthia's making sure that she knows she has her back. I would have gave her my back so she could French kiss the crack of my ass. That's what I would have did for Miss Kenya here. You know, I'm down there talking to this crazy motherfucker that kicked your glass out and all that. He could have beat the shit out of Cynthia. You know, told her to mind her motherfucking business. It could have went any old kind of way because you scared of him, bitch. And you said me. And then you going to go off on me. I said, oh, that's a mess. But that's on you, Cynthia, because you ain't no business getting in it. You ain't even got no motherfucking body, bitch. Anyway, moving on. So Candy actually had thrown a surprise party, a surprise white party. It's like an engagement party for Shamia. And Portia didn't show up. So, you know, that was like the whole big thing. Shamia's like looking around and everybody's there. And she's like, well, where's Portia? You know, and Sheree's always Sheree. Portia's not coming. She says she ain't coming. Shamia got to crying and carried on. They're like, oh, no, we ain't doing that. We not doing that. You know, not doing that. So then they show other stuff. They show in the confessional where Phaedra accused Shamia and Candy of being lesbian lovers, and she also said that that Shamia had fucked everybody's husband. They, you know, Sheree was talking about that in her confessional. Then Sheree actually went ahead and brought that shit on out at the party and said it. And it was just crazy. And it was interesting. It was interesting. Very interesting. So Shamia was like put on the spot at a party that was actually for her. And then you're finding out that people were walking around saying that you fuck everybody. And that you're a lesbian, you and Candy. And here we go again. It's all coming out of troublemaking ass motherfucking Sheree's mouth. And Shamia then strikes back and says, well, I mean, that's fine. People say whatever they want to say. She said, if I was fucking everybody's husband, I would have definitely fucked her husband because I definitely wasn't short of advancements. He's been trying to fuck me for a very long time. So if I fucked everybody's husband, I would have fucked hers because that would have been easy. Then she let everybody know that Phaedra is a cocksucker, honey. She's walking all around town sucking everybody's cock, honey, while she's talking about me. I said, oh. Okay, so we're hitting. So then they ended up going further. And she asked, was Portia, like, she said, well, where was Portia when all this was going on? Oh, she was sitting there. She didn't say nothing. So Shamia was feeling some kind of way about them because she felt as though Portia didn't defend her, and Portia didn't. And they ran the tape back so you can see it. Portia didn't say a word. And she said, but whenever I said something about Phaedra, she jumped all over me. They ran the tape back and showed that. Then they actually ran the tape back and showed when Dawn Juan said something about Portia, and Shamia stood up for Portia. So Portia, it just wasn't looking good for Portia. And I was like, well, she got a point. She actually definitely has a point. So it was what it was. Later on, Shamia and Portia have a sit down. Portia denies it, of course, and they roll the tape back again, showing her sitting there while they talked about the girl and ain't saying nothing. I was like, oh, God. Shamia cried again. Then she said, you know what, whatever. I've been friends with you for over a decade. And if you don't have my back, it's really sad, but that's really on your head, not on mine. It is what it is. But just watch your new little friend. Because Candy used to tell me stuff about things that Phaedra said about you being an airhead and Brick. You know, you got Brick for Brains and all this shit years ago when they were friends. So just watch your little friend. I said, oh, okay. So Portia, of course, she's still playing victim in all this. So then we get on to the camping trip. And everybody then just brought other people. Phaedra said, I didn't really say to invite all these other people, but whatever. Candy brought Hazel. Portia brought Lauren. And messy ass Sheree brought Marlo. So I said, okay. So, like, seriously, before they left, Kenya actually had everybody come over her house for like a little, little tete-a-tete before they leave. And they was all like, no, wait, we done been dropped off down this hill with our luggage. I know good well this bitch don't think we can really walk all the way up this hill out of this gully. But yeah, because the bus couldn't come down the hill, so the bus was up at the top. They literally had to, Candy was mad as hell. She was the one all the way in the back. She's like, God damn it. They had to drag. I would have been mad as hell. I'd have been like, bitch, call me an Uber. Because they had to go all the way up that motherfucking driveway up out of that gully, honey. I said, oh, that's a mess. Now, at the same time, Sheree is down her house. Marlo and Portia and Lauren actually end up, they're down at Sheree's house. Now, you tell me, why is it that Sheree felt the need to be filming down at this undone house? She wouldn't even let them in the house. She's so petty. She ain't let them in the house. She got a fold-up table set up outside and got some little shit on it, and they out there. Girl, did you just have a cookout with no entry to your house on a card table, bitch? If you don't think that made you look petty, I'm here to tell you, you look petty and desperate and just absolutely foolish and ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, they get up on the bus. First thing Portia gets to talking about, she got a note from the doctor. And the doctor said, she proving to them, yes, I do go to anger management, this, that, thing, and the other. Kenya start going in on her right away. Well, what does that mean? You're a patient. And, she's being real curt and real special and very Kenya-like. She was pushing. She was trying to start tripping off Portia's trigger. She knew what she was doing because that's what Kenya does. She knew exactly what she was doing. And Lauren ended up saying something. Candy was over there really acting like a bitch, rolling her eyes like, child, I don't care about this shit. And I was kind of like, Candy, nobody want to hear it, girl. Put that shit in your purse and go on. But, they already got some issues anyway. So I was like, oh, wow. So when they broke out from that, because Phaedra was like, well, we're not going to get upset. Let's all just chill. Honey, and Kenya was really digging. She was really going there. Kenya going to say, child, it's all just bullshit. This, that, and the other is bullshit. Like everything else I said, she is really, really pushing. Really pushing. And had the motherfucking stinking ass dogs with her again. Bitch, get a life. And tell me with this Hazel, girl, it ain't a good look to come into a group of ladies that you don't know and try to be slick with the mouth. People have been beat the fuck up for less. Like, seriously. I was like, I don't know about that, Hazel. Because all that showed is that Candy be talking about people to Hazel. And when Hazel came, Hazel felt real comfortable to come for Marlo, but she just fucking shouldn't have did it. You know how Marlo do her thing. Marlo's like, yes, we're going to have a little session here while we're at camp called Ask Marlo. I'll let you guys ask me anything that you want about fashion or men or whatever you want. Just Marlo being Marlo. Nobody pay Marlo no attention. Hey, and that Hazel will look over to Kenya and say, why are we asking her something? Why are we listening to her? And Kenya just took it right on tour and was like, child, Hazel just asked, why are we listening to you? I said, oh, girl, she just fed you to the sharks, honey. See, you sitting back there and you thought Kenya was cool. Kenya just fed you to the sharks. Baby Marlo turned around and looked at her and said, the reason that you're listening to me, honey, is because when it comes to fashion, that's me. Nobody would ask you about fashion. I'm fashionable. You don't look so fashionable. Now, if it was about nice skin, then we would ask you some questions because you have beautiful skin. But when it comes to fashion, that's me. I said, oh, baby, Kenya fed you to the sharks. And trust me, bitch, I don't know whether you heard it or not, Hazel, but there was 2 sounds that you should have heard, honey. Chomp, chomp, honey. Marta let her ass have it. I said, oh, oh, oh. Okay. And when she said to Kenya, and Kenya repeated, Candy just fell out laughing. Honey, Marla gave them laugh now, cry later, bitch. She let Hazel have it, honey. That wasn't a good look for your first time on the show, Miss Hazel. The goddamn Marlo. But anyway, so that was basically it. It was just, they're on their way. The catty shit has already begun. The one last thing that I do want to talk about is how before they got on the bus, when they were down having the cookout outside the house, where you couldn't get in the house, at Sheree's, Portia pulls Sheree to the side and start talking to her and asked her, she's like, you coming across a little messy, honey. And she's like, why did you go and tell this one that and that one that? And Sheree stood in it. Now, I had to give it to her because she stood in and basically was like, because y'all be talking about each other. And, I just felt like since we were talking about this and that person wasn't there, now that person's there, I felt as though they needed to know that was talked about. Now, all that's good. And the fact that you stand in it and all that, that's good too, Sheree. But let me tell you something. I know you know better than this. This is cute for the housewives. But on the street, on the regular street where ain't no cameras rolling, bitch, somebody would snatch you and beat your motherfucking ass. Because any bitch that you just feel so compelled to tell this one that and tell that one that. How many people have y'all seen get their ass whooped for that shit? This is cute for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But out on them streets, somebody would beat Sheree's motherfucking ass or give her the chance to beat theirs. There would be some good motherfucking fights going on. And I believe even it would be Portia. If they wasn't on TV and shit like that went down, I think Portia would try Sheree. Because that's the type of shit that you need to have your ass whooped about. That's some messy fucking bullshit. But anyway, Sheree, go ahead. You standing in it, girl. But you got to be ready, because if you was on a different show or not on a show, girl, somebody would reach for your motherfucking throat with that bullshit. But anyway, that's it. And I'll talk to you guys next week. All right. Bye, guys.